Hit this record button. Okay, hi everyone and welcome to another FxEdge Power Hour. My name is Marcello Ducille and today is February 27th, 2013. We're going to do today what I've done for years, which is an analysis of the markets and evaluation of our strategies, which are based upon the 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, close of our daily bars and our 4-hour bars. Thereafter, we will have a brief questions and answers session, so let's go ahead and get started here. Today for me is what I expected it to be. I expected actually for us to hit these highs and then bounce off of them on the euro dollar. We didn't quite get that bounce yet. Guys, we kind of drew this trend line down here, and that's what we've been on for the last, obviously for the last few weeks here, for the last 3 weeks or so. We had a bounce off of the 200. We had a doji here. We had a bounce off the 200. It's kind of what you would expect for a reversal here, because we've got the 200 doji and then a push back up here. Now, the thing that is still putting us in a kind of an ambiguous place is this trend line here. So we are in the apex. Okay, so what does that mean? It means that really we're in the apex here. We can have a breakout either today or tomorrow. Okay, so on this new trading day, we can either have a breakout today or tomorrow, and what we should expect to see is we expect to see maybe a retest, or we've already had a test of this high, and that high now is at 131.40, so we're well in that range. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm not necessarily accepting this as a reversal as of yet. I'm more so considering it as a consolidation. 1, 2 bars here, and I'm going to be looking for, you know, this bar to kind of retest this area and to come back down this direction. Now, if we do see price actually push above this trend line that I've drawn here a couple days ago, then we will know that it is a continuation or reversal, I should say, of the previous downtrend, and we're actually going to have a continuation of the uptrend that we had previously. Now, what I'm looking at here, obviously, is because we're still below that trend line that I've drawn here. We are, you know, I still consider this a consolidation. Looking at this trend line, looking at the fact we're below the 50, looking at the activity that we had previously, I'm still seeing this as a consolidation with a potential for a move to the downside. So that's where I'm at as far as that's concerned. The euro-dollar daily STP is currently flat in the market, and we'll have to be waiting for another. We'll have to wait for another opportunity here. All right. So the dollar Swiss, as you can see here, we talked consolidation language yesterday, and we do have consolidation here. So there was a play for you potentially if you were, you know, trading the dollar Swiss. You could have played that range here, because essentially we were down in a range between 92.80 and about 93. I would dare say 40, 93.30, 93.40. All right, so there was a play that you could have made here as far as that was concerned, but you know, it's very, very narrow range. You're talking about 50 pips at most on the entire move, and so there wasn't really much to do here. You can see that it's kind of hung out at this area. You know, what we really like to see is, we like to see if it's going to be a reversal. We like to see these wicks to the top side, but we like to see it move off quickly, and we don't have that move off quickly, if you will, here, nor do we have a violent reaction. So even if it doesn't move off quickly, it has to have a violent reaction in one direction or the other. And we haven't seen that here on this dollar Swiss, and for that reason, you know, in looking at the euro dollar for the time being, we definitely still have a buy bias. Incidentally, looking at the trend line that's formed here as well, we've got 1, 2, 3 touches here, and if we put this up here, we've actually got more touches. So this is kind of where we're at. We could have a potential move to the upside if you drew that upper resistance area as an apex, or as a resistance area for the top of that triangle. You can see that we are in the apex, and we can potentially see a breakout of some kind here. So let's actually draw that because there's more to look at. And I'm actually going to steal this trend line that we had drawn previously that really did serve as a good place for us to find an apex previously. We're going to use it again because it touches some key points. Oops. It's not what I wanted to do. Okay, I wanted to use this trend line, but it's being difficult, so I'm going to draw a new one. And right here, you can see that in this bigger, broader view of support and resistance, we are actually well within that apex. We should see a breakout on this dollar Swiss, I think, tomorrow or the day after. If this trend line is to be considered by the market, which it seems to be considered for the time being. So that's kind of where we're at right now. There's also another trend line here to look at, and they all draw an apex. So this is actually quite good news for us if you're looking for some form of a breakout here. And this is where the next line is. I'm actually going to, and you can see they're all converging, and they're all basically giving us the same signal. Okay, so that's basically an apex. Anywhere you slice it, 1, 2, and of course across the top 3 for the horizontal support and resistance area. Anywhere you slice it, we're in an apex, and we're looking for a breakout here. So that's kind of a good sign for us as far as that's concerned. The dollar Swiss, we do have a change from green to red. That change from green to red, we have too much buy pressure, so we will not consider that buy. We will be still looking for sells here. I'm sorry, we're not going to be looking for sells, I should say. We'll still be looking in buys here. And from our perspective, because we are still above this trend line, we have to consider a long-standing trend line that has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 points of contact. You know, it's an established trend line. It's not, you know, made up here. You know, once you get 3 points and get beyond that, you know, you've got something established here. It's quite steep, of course, but we're looking for a breakout in one direction or the other of this apex. All right, there's no trade for us on the dollar Swiss. The pound dollar, we did have a sell. We had a sell previously. It was up here at the high. We got a little profit here, and then second position, unfortunately, went to break even. You can see here that we've had attempts to reverse here. We are at very key areas. Well, 5150 was a very key area. You can see the market is hanging out at 5150, but we continue to fall. All these green bars, which want to say buy, they're not saying very much at all. It's just saying consolidation as far as the pound dollar is concerned. And instead of moving up to this trend line, it looks like it's going to move sideways until it gets closer to it, and maybe we'll see a bounce off of it at some point, and then a continuation of the sell, because that's all it's showing us for the time being. Right now we have a change from green to red. We have a red bar that's not yet formed, so that is not a valid signal yet. We'll have to wait until tomorrow, which we will not be here tomorrow, to determine if price will, you know, if we will get a sell signal as far as this pound dollar STP is concerned. Pound yen, pound yen also consolidation, definitely a buy looking candle that we've got here. I mean, we have the same doji, and we have the same basic signal here, but you notice how this candle stays within the range. It doesn't break the high or the low, and for that reason, you know, it's less likely to be, you know, a buy bias for this particular trade. So it's not as strong as a buy bias is what I would say. If this were our doji here and then we saw a price break above this 50, then we would be in a different place, in a different state of mind. We don't have that here. Anyway, so we have a change from red to green. That gives us a, it would give us a buy signal had it not been so much sell pressure. So the automation completely ignores that signal, and now we're going to be waiting for another trade. yeah, we're at areas of support and resistance, but we're at areas of support and resistance. Not just support, but resistance as well, and we've stayed well within it. And for that reason, a buy bias would not be recommended here. So that's the pound yen, or I wouldn't take it. All right, so the Aussie dollar. Aussie dollar is on the other side of that. I can show you an Aussie dollar chart and show you exactly what the Aussie dollar is in the broader perspective. And I think that will help you to understand where the Aussie is. Anyway, we had a change from green to red, which gave us a sell signal. Okay, it was valid. And so if you took that Aussie dollar sell, you would have probably made some money. Went for about 46 pips. We're looking for 74, actually. So it actually went back to break even and closed out at break even. So it went down 46 pips, hits this 1.0200 area, tests it again, and then it just comes right back up and closes above that area at the 1.022 area. So we do have a buy reversal candle, if you will, on this Aussie dollar. And you know, I mean, we could see a move to the upside here, but you know, we have all these we have signals across the board that are kind of giving us dojis, or they're giving us kind of a slight buy signal, and they're slight in that respect. We could see price move back up to this 250 area on the Aussie dollar. So you know, I guess we'll have to watch and see what happens with fundamentals. I'm not completely sold on that move yet, just because of, you know, the way that the movement that we've seen, and we just haven't seen, you know, massively good movement on the back to the upside. We haven't seen a violent reaction there. All right, so let me show you something else that's kind of cool. There's a contraction in price here if you look on the weekly chart on the Aussie dollar here, and here it is. And essentially what it is, it's forming for us slowly you know, it's going to be giving us an opportunity at some point very, very soon. And you can see that we're ranging and we're getting very, very close to the lower portion of this, and that's what we want to see. So this is my weekly charts. This is going back into the middle of 2011, that I can draw my areas of support and resistance. Oops. My areas of support and resistance, meaning my trend lines. Okay, and there you have it. So we have this point here, price kind of jets out of here, comes right back in. It tests here again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times, and then it comes down, and we have 1 touch, 2 touches, 3, 4. So this is a very confirmed trend line, if you will. And we're kind of now getting down to the bottom side of this, which is at 1.0084. So we should put us at 1.0050 in that area, 1.0100. You know, to get at least look for a bounce off of this thing. And you know, as we continue in this range, we could see a push down, and we can see it go back up on this Aussie dollar from the weekly chart. Looking at it, then we get in this apex. We're going to expect some form of a breakout on this Aussie dollar. I can show you that in the past in the Aussie too. The Aussie doesn't seem to make sense, but there is some logic in this as well. Let me show you another example of this here. And honestly, that's the next swing high. And so based upon the swing high, you can see that we had 1, 2, 3, 4 touches, 5, and although it's very steep, it does give us the breakout that we're looking for out of the apex. So this is how the Aussie dollar likes to run, and so that's what we have here for the time being. What does that mean for us today? it means that we could see a continuation of that sell. As you can see, we've had a very hard sell week, and and somehow get to the bottom of this area at some point on the Aussie dollar. So that's where we are right now, guys, and well, we got the euro yen. All right, so the euro yen, also the very same thing. We actually have a buy trade that's set up here, and we bounced right off the 50 MA. And so this is actually much more bullish. This is actually a much more bullish signal than the other candles that we're looking at. Here you can see that we have a change from red to green that gives us a a buy signal. It looks low, but it's definitely giving us a buy signal here. And I mean, we've got 3 bounces off of that 50 MA, so I have to say that this one looks much more bullish than the rest of them. But it's also maintaining this range as well. So there is a range here. Perhaps we'll see price move up. There is a range here. We hit the high, which was at, let's see, what the previous day was 121.33, and today we had a high of 121.43. At which point we closed within it. So we closed at 121.16. So we did close within that range of the previous day as well. It's certainly more bullish than the other candles that we've seen. But we're going to have to wait and see what price action does right here at this high, because we're right at it. If price rejects a move or a test higher at 121, or that 121.43, 121.50 area, then we could look for a move back down to this 50 MA to be retested. Of course, we could also see price continue to push upward. So my thing is, if I don't see a push here to the upside on the euro yen, that's probably a good place to exit this trade STP because we won't be around here. So if we don't see a push to the upside and we do see like a bearish signal, like a sell reversal candle, a doji, something like that, it's probably a good idea to veto that trade and get out. If it does move in our direction, obviously you're going to keep that trade on and let it run. And so that's exactly where we are as far as that euro yen buy is concerned right now. All right, so looking at our IBO. So looking at the IBO, we basically had a buy opportunity here. 131.20 was our high. We barely got in, and you can see that price retraced. That got us out for loss mitigation. So so right here we are looking for another IBO, looking for a potential break to the upside or to the downside. That bar is not formed yet, so we don't know where it's going to go. So we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see. By the 9 p.m. Eastern time, we should know exactly if we'll have an IBO here or not. But right now, there's no IBO. All right, looking at the IBO Rev, IBO Rev candles, we definitely have a 3-bar IBO here. Breakout, second bar. This would have been a good reversal candle signal. We did not get it to take, and so for that reason, it is invalidated because we had a break of the high. We'll be looking for potentially another IBO signal, I guess, and I'm sorry, IBO Rev signal. We're still in the range where we can pick up another one, and then we'll see where price goes from there. So we don't have a signal right now, and the IBO Rev is the verdict on that. Okay, so let's take a look at the Quattro. FxEdge Quattro, we had a change from green to red. Well, first we had a change from we've had a couple of signals. So you guys, as you know, we had done very well in the FxEdge Quattro over the last few weeks. Recently, we had a 90 pip trade on the FxEdge Quattro. Price moved up against the 66 pips, came down in our direction 51 pips, and it's kind of hung out. And we're still in this trade, so it's actually against us, and we're looking to hit our stop loss here. But if price does retrace and does move down here back into this range, then that won't be an issue. So it is at an axiomatic place for this particular trade, and we'll have to wait and see how it plays out. All right, so let's move on here. Triple threat 3. Okay, here's the ATR sniper. I'll come back to it. Well, actually, I'll look at it because there's no trade on it right now. All right, so right now, guys, we're up about 6-point-something% on the ATR sniper. We don't really have a trade, and so we're going to be waiting for another opportunity. It's currently looking for a sell, so you can see that we're up 6+% on a 1% position. You can see it right here on our screen. 1%. That's how much we're risking. So far, so good. I'm going to keep that ATR running and let it do what it does best. And so that's that. So let's take a look at the triple threat 3. Now the triple threat 3 got into a sell trade. It's really taking a ride here. We got into a sell trade, and then we hit the stop loss, and so we got into a stop and reverse trade. So right now we're looking for a buy. We're hoping that it'll go up higher. It almost hit the take profit here, but didn't quite do it. So here's the thing. Here's what I'm saying. We're currently up a few pips here. If we do get a close, if you see, we're still kind of playing the range here, if you will, for the time being, because we're still well within the range. One of the things that you may want to do is consider mitigating this particular trade, just because we are in that what we would consider to be a ranging scenario. So my lower side is 130.50. My higher side is 131.50. So it's about 100 pip range. We could see price jut up here, retest that area, even if it's just a range. We could see it hit the high, and then continue to move down. And so that's what we're hoping is going to happen. I think in the broader scheme of things, or we think it's going to happen in the broader scheme of things, based on the consolidation. But we obviously want it to hit the first take profit on this triple threat 3 first. And of course, the other side of it is that it can break through this consolidation and keep on moving to the upside. If it does do that, then clearly this triple threat 3 would be in a place to hopefully make some big profits if we're really going back to the upside and continuing this trend. And so that is pretty much it. That's the whole shebang. I'm going to open up for just a couple of questions. Yeah, sorry about the mic problem. Kevin, who's your broker? Okay, so I've got some questions here. Let me get back to you. All right, so here's a question. When you looked at the Aussie dollar, you said we were looking for 74 pips without actually looking at the trade. How did you figure this out? I look at the volatility. That volatility indicator that we have, that's what tells us, and it's basically here. This gold band here is going to tell us what price is doing. So if I look at the Aussie dollar, right now I've got it on the weekly, but if I put it back to the daily, here, what you'll find is that if you place your cursor on it or on the bar that it pertains to, you can see the proper readings. And I believe on that particular day it was 63 pips. All par UK, okay. The thing is that you're going to have different results based upon the fact that the Alpari has a different feed. So we generally use 5 p.m. Eastern Time brokers because they that's what the big money is looking at. So your results may vary using a different broker. They will vary using a different broker with a feed that closes at a different time of day. So what I'm saying is, when does your daily bar close? That's what you've got to ask yourself. For us, our bars close at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and so we do that. That's why we call this the power hour, because this is when we can look at the market after the daily bar is closed, and we can see where the market may decide to go. And so we've done that because, you know, a lot of the smart money closes down, calls the end of the day at 5 p.m. Oh, Richard, I'm not sure about that. I think there's a button that you can press to turn off that chime. I'm not sure if it's chiming or not for you, but if it is, you can turn it off. You can hit enable alerts, turn that off. And you can hit sound OK and make it false. Okay? And that'll take care of your problem, I think. Hey Betty, how are you? Yeah, they told me that that you guys worked out what accounts you wanted to be activated for BW. So you should be getting your trades in now. All right, guys, thank you very much for your time. I look forward to seeing you next week, Monday. Oh, actually, tomorrow. Today's Wednesday. Sorry about that. I'll be right back here tomorrow. I'll be doing this at 5 p.m. And then at 7 p.m., I have a presentation that's going to be talking about some of the stuff that I've been able to do. Last year, my best month in my trading career was 152% CPA audited, and so it's the same methodology I teach my VIPs. I'll be sharing a little bit of that with you, and also what I've been able to do this month, make about 25% thus far in the markets this month in my personal accounts, and you guys will see those accounts as well. I'll be talking about that tomorrow at 7 p.m. And so I look forward to seeing you guys then. All the best. I'll see you tomorrow at 5 p.m. Goodbye.